I'm Merely Caruso. It's Wednesday, December 3rd. Today, an end to the curling club saga.
The municipal board went beyond its scope.
The city decides it can ignore a municipal board decision, what it will mean for the future of a housing development and Granite Curling Club. Also today, construction compensation. Who would get the cash when the road work gets underway, and what other city already does this? Plus, all aboard the holiday train when the colorful locomotive will arrive in our city. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. There's a new twist tonight in the ongoing Granite Curling Club saga. Manitoba's municipal board says the city has to come up with an adequate parking plan the curling clubs agrees with before an affordable housing complex can be built on the lot. But Winnipeg's mayor isn't buying in, saying it does not need its consent to proceed. To explain why, CTV's Taylor Brock joins us now live. So Taylor, can the city move forward without Granite Curling Club first giving the project the thumbs up?
Well, merely the city says it can. In a new report at City Hall, city administrators say the municipal board's decision is not legally binding. In that report, city staff say the province's municipal board can only make recommendations on the proposed zoning bylaws. Now, this all stems from a decision city council made earlier this year, giving the go-ahead to a proposal hoping to build an 11-story housing development. What stirred up concerns from Granite Curling Club was the proposed location. It would be going up where the club's parking lot is. It's important to note the parking lot is owned by the city, and Granite Curling Club leases the property from it.
The legal team has done their analysis on the municipal board and this ruling that they made, and has made the determination that the municipal board went beyond its scope. And so what we have before us today is a decision that we have to make.
The city's report is suggesting the city negotiate a new long-term lease with the curling club, one that includes an expanded area and dedicated on-site parking options. However, the mayor says their lease actually expired 7 years ago, and he says the parking issue should be dealt with through the lease renewal.
All right, Taylor, so what does Granite Curling Club think about the city's plan?
They're baffled, merely. They don't believe the city can ignore the municipal board's decision.
The municipal board recommendation, all it added was a condition that the city actually had to work with the Granite. So we were hoping the city would do that, but now they're taking this bizarre position that they can just ignore the municipal board.
The curling club says they are exploring all of their options, including a potential legal battle, but it is hoping they can reach a deal. They say there is space in the area that's available.
When is the city expected to make its decision about Granite Curling Club?
It could be a little while, merely. The report and motion for the new plan will be discussed at the next Executive Policy Committee hearing on December 9th. Now, any final decision, though, will have to be voted on by the entire City Council.
All right, thanks for this, Taylor. A man is recovering in hospital tonight after being shot through the window of a home. Police say it happened on Syndicate Street in Point Douglas around 7:40 Sunday morning. A 27-year-old man was hit by a bullet fired into the home. Officers on the scene applied a chest seal before the man was taken to hospital in unstable condition, where we're told he remains tonight. The suspect made off in a vehicle before police arrived. Police say it's too early to say whether this was a targeted shooting. Anyone with information is asked to contact Major Crimes or Crime Stoppers. Thousands of needles and hundreds of weapons, pipes, and drug bags have been collected from city parks in and around the downtown area since spring. This is according to a new report from the Public Service. It says since April, a crew assigned to clean up 16 sites found more than 6,300 needles, 177 weapons, mostly knives, nearly 1,300 pipes, and more than 600 drug baggies. The most needle-ridden site was Fort Douglas Park, followed by Assiniboine Riverwalk and Central Park. The report says the cleanup project was a success and is expected to continue until at least 2028. A Manitoba pharmacist has pled guilty to professional misconduct over an inappropriate relationship with a vulnerable patient. The complaints center around Michael Watts, who was working as a manager of Brothers Pharmacy on Selkirk Avenue at the time. He was accused of entering into an inappropriate relationship with a vulnerable patient between February 2022 and June 2022, as well as between 2021 and 2022. Watts pled guilty in June and was ordered to pay a $7,500 fine, along with another $15,000 for the cost of the investigation and hearing. Watts now works at a pharmacy in Thompson and told CTV News his lawyer has advised him to give no comment. Brothers Pharmacy, now known as Northway Pharmacy Brothers, tells CTV it has not had a professional relationship with Watts in more than 3 years. Winnipeg's mayor is taking another step towards creating the city's 4th emergency services branch. It would be called the Winnipeg Community Crisis Response Service and would be dedicated to mental health crises and well-being checks. The idea is to relieve some of the pressure on the other 3 branches for the increasing number of mental health-related calls. The mayor says often many of them don't require police, fire, or paramedics. Scott Gillingham now has submitted a motion which would allow his office to work with a consulting firm on the nuances of the plan at a cost of about $228,000. A pair of city councillors want the city to consider compensating small businesses that are impacted by construction work. Councillors Sherry Rollins and Brian Mays have put forward a motion which would direct the public service to study the feasibility of such a program and how much it would cost. The motion cites a program in Montreal as an example where businesses can be subsidized up to $40,000 annually for projects lasting at least 6 months. The Executive Policy Committee will consider that motion on Tuesday. Well, put on your toques and gloves and be sure to bring a tin or 2 for the bin. The CPKC holiday train rolls into Winnipeg tonight. The festive train, featuring live music performances and thousands of colored lights, is scheduled for its Winnipeg stop at 9:15 p.m. You can catch it at the grade crossing at Panet Road and Molson Street. Singers Jade Eagleson and Tegan Gaze will entertain the crowd at the Winnipeg stop from the brightly decorated train stage. CPKC donates to local food banks at each stop and encourages everyone who attends to make a monetary or heart-healthy food donation. On December 5th, the holiday train will head west for stops in Portage La Prairie, Neepawa, and Minnedosa. And you'll want to bundle up if you're heading out to take in the train and the entertainment it brings with it. Temperatures the coldest we've seen in a long time, Colleen.
Listen, these daytime highs today, we haven't seen temperatures like this in many months. So settle in, folks, because yeah, reality's here. After we had that mild November, temperatures now are below normal for the foreseeable future. Today especially, though, because it was bright and clear. We were under the influence of Arctic high pressure, so it's a trade-off. You get the sunshine, but you also get the cold Arctic air. We are also in between clipper systems. There's more snow headed our way. I'll show you when that arrives and how much is expected to fall. Let's take a look right now, though, first through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. In Winnipeg right now, do you want me to say that out loud, Marilee? It's minus 20. Yeah, minus 20 degrees. When you factor in the wind chill, it feels like minus 28. Clear. Winds out of the west-northwest at 12 kilometers an hour. The pressure's rising, and the humidity is 75%. Out in traffic. Well, I actually don't have any stalls to let you know about right now, which is a bit of a surprise, but you can see it's a little backed up right now for folks heading southbound on the St. James Bridge.
The last few weeks, we've been seeing a consistently increasing numbers, increasing test positivity for influenza.
Flu season arrives with a vengeance. How many people have been admitted to hospital and how many have died from the virus?
Royal Bank is reporting a $5.4 billion profit for its latest quarter. That's a 29% jump year over year. The bank did well in capital markets and wealth management, and the CEO says it's keeping goals modest since CUSMA hasn't been renegotiated yet and the economy hasn't normalized. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 71.68. West Texas Intermediate crude is up to 58.95. Western Canadian Select is down to 45.35, and the TSX gained 111 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Market Watch is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross. Group health plans for any size business.
The holiday season is upon us, which means shopping in busy malls, work parties, and family gatherings, the perfect places to spread the flu. Health officials are seeing a spike in reported influenza cases across the country, including here in Manitoba. According to the province's respiratory virus surveillance report, 29 people with the flu were admitted to hospital. Of that number, 3 are being treated in the intensive care unit, and 1 person died last month.
We are seeing now significant influenza activity. So last few weeks we've been seeing a consistently increasing numbers, increasing test positivity for influenza, and that's influenza A. The H3N2 is the predominant subtype that we're seeing now.
Chief Provincial Public Health Officer Dr. Brent Rusin says a strain of the virus which circulated in Australia is also here in Manitoba, and it may not be a great match for the vaccine. Still, Rusin says the best way to protect yourself is to get the flu shot. The Winnipeg Jets were outscored, outplayed, and outclassed during a 5-1 loss to the Buffalo Sabres Monday night, prompting captain Adam Lowry to hold a closed-door meeting. The Jets wrap up a 5-game road trip in Montreal tonight against a young, fast Habs team. Defenseman Neil Pionk returns after missing 4 games with a lower body injury, while rookie blue liner Elias Salamonson and forward Cole Koepke are jumping in to help address the Jets' need for speed.
I think our whole group needs to play quick, and that has not just not bodies. I think that you defend when you defend fast and you close quick and take away time and space. It helps you get the puck quicker, and then you're on transition. I think that we chased that game the other night because we never closed things off fast enough.
Eric Comrie is expected to start in net. Puck drop from Montreal is slated for 6:30 Central.
The Hockey Report, brought to you by Santa Lucia Pizza. Check out the game day special.
An electrifying new show is coming to Winnipeg when you can see a musical version of Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
We all know just how cold Manitoba winters can be. Imagine not having a winter coat, boots, a toque, or mitts, and stepping out into the cold. That's the reality for many kids. But you can change that. Give the gift of warmth. Donate to Coats for Kids. Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Toque, All-Star Canadian Classic Rock.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight. And Colleen, Percy Jackson novels have been adapted into a successful movie and a popular TV series, and now a new adaptation is on the way.
That's right. The first novel, The Lightning Thief, will be hitting the stage here in Winnipeg, and today we got a sneak peek at the show.
I'm leaving now. I better pack. Katie's took my mom. I'm taking her back, and I'm coming with you.
And as you just heard, The Lightning Thief is a musical, and this week you'll be able to see it at the Manitoba Theatre for Young People. The show follows Percy Jackson, who recently discovered he is the son of a Greek god. Percy and his demigod friends set out on a quest to find Zeus's missing lightning bolt and hopefully prevent a war. MTYP says it's a musical the whole family can enjoy.
I think a lot of young people and, grown-ups as well relate a lot to this character of Percy, who doesn't fit in and doesn't know where they are, what their place is in the world, and what parents' influences and wanting to have their parents' love and approval.
The Lightning Thief will be at the Manitoba Theatre for Young People from Friday, December 5th to the 28th. Tickets are available online at mtyp.ca.
A premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival is something many budding Canadian filmmakers aspire to.
Of course, and a Winnipeg animator is getting the rare distinction of making his professional debut at the festival.
On savait qu'on avait des racines métisses, mais c'était pas quelque chose qu'on était fiers d'avoir.
That is Là où nous fleurs poussent, a short film by Maxime Kornichuk. It's also the film that got him selected for a program by the International Film Board of Canada to help cultivate the next generation of filmmakers. He and 4 others will be creating their own short films about what it means to be Canadian or Indigenous, which will be screened at TIFF 2026.
en même temps.
We start production very, very soon just for everything, and you know, we've reached out to people. It's another story about Métis people, and this one's more open to the community this time. So it's already kind of talking with people, figuring out how it's going to look, how everything's going to work.
Kornichuk's film, which got him selected, followed his own family's history and their trepidation to explore their own Métis identity. His animation style is even inspired by traditional Métis beadwork. TIFF takes place in mid-September.
YouTube has released its year-end viewing data.
That's right, and it looks like Canadians can't get enough of K-pop.
I try to hide, but something broke. I try to sing, couldn't hit the notes, the words kept.
Merrily, YouTube says tracks from the hit Netflix movie K-pop Demon Hunters were some of Canada's most watched videos and shorts. Meanwhile, another K-pop star had a big year on the platform. APT or Apt? I'm not sure you say it. The song is very catchy. From Rosé and Bruno Mars, that was the fastest K-pop track to rack up 1 billion views.
I can't help you out, Colleen. I am one of the Canadians that did not contribute to this.
Okay. I do like that song a lot. I've just never known how you quite pronounce it, but we'll work on that.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, in case you're wondering. In the meantime, your Wednesday night lineup starts at 7 with Shifting Gears, followed by Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. At 8:30, catch The Amazing Race, and The Floor is on at 10. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Primetime lineup is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
Yeah, if only that were a typo. It is -20 and clear out there in Winnipeg. All those cars sitting in that cold along Osborne Street in Osborne Village. I will have your full forecast coming up, including the next round of snow on the way.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
Police in Virginia were called to a liquor store after someone broke in and drank a large amount of booze and then passed out. The suspect, you might be wondering, well, it was a very intoxicated raccoon. Yeah, there he is. Take a look. When police arrived at the liquor store, they found him asleep on the bathroom floor next to the toilet. We've probably all been there at some point in our lives. It appears the animal broke into the store, ransacked several shelves, and after sampling a few too many products, went into that bathroom and passed out. The officer took the drunk raccoon to an animal shelter to sober up. Then it was released back into the wild, a little hungover perhaps, but apparently none the worse for wear.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Hopefully he learned his lesson.
I mean,
all in moderation, raccoon.
That's right. And sprawled out next to the toilet, too, of all places.
Just out.
Yeah. Anywho.
Hopefully his buddies went easy on him.
I hope so.
Yeah. All right.
So
tonight would not be a good night to be an animal outdoors.
No, it's -20 out there. Now, if there's any good news in that, it's about as cold as it's going to get tonight. The temperature might rise a little bit throughout the night. I mean, it's still going to be very cold, but we're not going to drop off any further. At least that's not the expectation. We are in the midst of some Arctic high pressure in between two low pressure systems. We had one clipper that zipped through yesterday. Another one is going to zip through starting tonight and throughout the day tomorrow across Manitoba. But for the time being, it's -20 in Winnipeg. Similar temperatures across the south under these very clear conditions. Next door, northwestern Ontario, for the most part clear. You see those winds coming lightly out of the west-northwest. Northern Manitoba, there was a cold warning in effect earlier today. Some of the most northern parts of the province had wind chills felt as cold as -45. No cold warnings in effect at this point for northern Manitoba or anywhere else, but nonetheless, whether there's a warning in effect or not, just be prepared for these conditions if you do have to be outside. Not much to show you here just yet, not until we get till the overnight hours. That's when the first of that snow moves in with this clipper. And as I talked about yesterday, clippers by their nature zip along very quickly. This one will too. And it will perform similarly, at least here in Winnipeg and the Red River Valley, as the one that went through yesterday. Forecast amounts much the same, 2 to 4 centimeters expected. Looks like that snow will move in once again mid-morning, pretty much what we saw yesterday, the tail end of the commute. Through the afternoon hours, clouds. You can see how quickly that snow is going to move, and it'll move off into northwestern Ontario. In behind, a little bit of clearing, but look at this. There's another round of snow that will be moving across the province from north through central regions and then sweeping through the southeast. So for tonight, it is -20. That is expected to be about as cold as it gets. Increasing clouds overnight. Overnight, the winds strengthen a little bit out of the south at 30 kilometers an hour, but that's still enough to create quite the wind chill out there. It does feel like -28 out there right now. -7 is the high. Winds at their peak out of the south at 30. 2 to 4 centimeters of snow is possible, light snow. And then we get into Friday, mostly cloudy, -9. And then a cold weekend in store for us. Saturday, -17 is the high under a mix of sun and cloud. And then there's the chance of flurries Sunday through Tuesday, with temperatures actually getting a little less cold every day. By the time we get to Tuesday, we should be back up to -8 degrees. To our weather photos we go, and this first one takes a look at the moon up through the clouds. That's out at St. Andrews. That photo is from Darlene. And this next one, quite lovely, out in Carman. That photo is from Audrey. And, you know, the rivers and the waterways not entirely frozen up just yet, but still, that's a lovely photo there. Send us your pics to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The CTV Skywatch Pick of the Day is brought to you by the Manitoba Chiropractors Association. We've got your back.
If you've even been outside for a second or two, you know how cold it is today. Most people are wearing jackets and trying to stay warm, but not everyone. That is one of the leaders from Wawanesa Insurance being submerged in a dunk tank. This isn't a polar bear challenge. The company executive pledged they would do a dunk tank today if employees could help them meet their United Way campaign goal. And since they did, they're going into the freezing cold water as their workers clearly delivered.
This is just a moment for us to demonstrate how Winnipeg organizations care so much about being here for one another, and Wawanesa proved that today.
The dunk challenge clearly motivated the company. Wawanesa says it achieved its highest ever employee participation rate. And with the company dollar matching, more than $1.6 million is being donated to the United Way in support of all the agencies it helps across Canada.
I could hear them across the street, couldn't you?
It was cold. I don't blame them.
Yeah, the dunkers probably screaming the loudest. Yeah.
Right. That does it for us this hour. Don't go far, though. We'll be back at 6 with more local news. Hope to see you then.